podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble. I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at it, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. A hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, joined alongside a rotating panel of co-hosts as well. We're going to be discussing Alexander Povetkin, Dillian Whyte, and the fact that Povetkin wanted to bring in American undefeated heavyweight Jermaine Franklin. We were supposed to have Jermaine on a program. I sent him another message, see could he get on today, since he keeps slacking and dropping the ball. But we're going to discuss how good of an imitation Dillian Whyte can Jermaine Franklin be. What sort of help would it been for Alexander Povetkin bringing in Jermaine Franklin to mimic Dillian Whyte? And give you all the details as to why it's not happening. But this is the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're going to have a Dr. Bautista up first. He's going to be talking everything that he's doing in the Fresno, California area to, do his part with the coronavirus. Plus, we'll point all our coronavirus questions to him. And then after Bautista at around, I think, 10 or 10:30, we'll have our next guest. Yes, 10:30, we'll have Andre Berto as well. So, man, don't forget the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation, as long as you're on that everyday show. Tia, let me head on out to some of my co-hosts and get this thing started while we wait on Dr. Bautista to call in.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up, you son of a bitch.
Good morning. Bulldog ate his homework, but we here, champs. Guess we're gonna get started a little quicker than usual. So I'm gonna let my man Kaz Reezy make his grand entrance.
Oh, you're so gracious. Instead of playing another long intro, we're going to go straight into our co-host, Dr. Bautista, out of Fresno Valley, California. Dr. Bautista, good morning. Thank you first and foremost for coming on the program, talking some boxing and obviously everything coronavirus, COVID-19. So early in the morning, being from the West Coast, true sport.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
First and foremost, I'm going to say, man, I wish my doctor was in your shape. You look like you're in fighting shape. So I'm going to steal my co-host's only question because he's the only casual fan on the panel. So
and hold up. Let me introduce myself since my intro didn't happen. Enrique Church, a.k.a. the Casual Fan. Good morning, Dr. Bautista. And my first question to
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. My first question to you from myself to Nestor actually was like, what is Dr. Bautista's affiliation with boxing?
Yo, why you acting like you're not Puerto Rican? Bautistas, isn't he? It's Bautista. Bautista, like the wrestler.
Hey, man, I went to school in New York at Columbia, and then I lived part time in Chicago, so I have a lot of Boricua family, man. A lot of Boricua brothers, man. But no, what's it called? Boxing. I played college football out here in California. Take care of a lot of athletes, and then as I've been taking care of athletes, more and more boxers came to me for physicals. We do a lot, not Mother Teresa, but we do a lot for the community. And unfortunately, a lot of boxers put so much, effort and sweat and their own money, and sometimes these physicals can be expensive. And one of the ways me and Dr. Guzman have always promoted health and wellness is doing free physicals. And so we started doing, for Golden Gloves boxing events and all these different charity or events for kids. We'd just go out there and do free sports physicals. Sometimes for like 100 kids. It's pretty crazy. And from there, we kind of just got more introduced to boxers, and we love it, man. We love supporting you guys.
Man, God bless you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. So obviously, we were definitely interested because of your connection with boxing, Jose Ramirez and Rick Mirrigan, and obviously what's going on with COVID-19. I mean, what could you tell our audience? And let's keep it boxing for a little while before we branch out just into the real world. What should fighters be doing not to get infected and to not pass this virus for those that may have it and don't know because they're not experiencing those symptoms?
Well, the main thing is most boxers are very elite athletes. They're very, very healthy. Now, there's always going to be, a small percentage of very healthy people that get sick, but for the most part, they're very, very healthy. And so what I tell boxers is this. One, people look up to boxers, man. Whether, they're working out at the gym or they're already at these boxers, because they feel so healthy, they may, on the opposite end, think, hey, I'm invincible. I won't get sick. And that may be true, but we can definitely pass it to other people. As a matter of fact, sometimes the healthy people are the ones that are asymptomatic, and you can go a good 14 days being infected without even having any symptoms. So those boxers, first and foremost, and that's why me and Jose Ramirez get along so well, is using our platform to educate other people. And then the other thing about these boxers, they train so hard, and although they're healthy on one point, on the other end, they really put stress on their immune system when they're cutting weight and almost like overtraining. So now is a perfect time to get in some of those healthy nutrients that we talk about. In this industry, we tend to talk about protein and carbs and cardio, but there's other things that need to be talked about, and this is sleep, right? Recovery. Sleep is probably the number one natural way to boost your immune system. Other things are going to be things such as zinc and vitamin C. So that's the main thing, being healthy physically, but also internally. And then lastly, man, use your talents that you have and your platform and educate other athletes. Hey, man, just because you feel good doesn't mean that you can't infect other people.
Wow. Does that mean, sorry about that, does that mean staying away from sparring, though? Like because some fighters, they just have it in them. They want to spar.
Good
they have
question, casual fan. We had Jessica McCaskill, unified champion, on yesterday, and she hasn't stopped sparring. Her trainer and she were both on, and they're like, look, we have a really big fight coming up. It hasn't been canceled.
Right.
So we're trying to stay safe, but at the same time, we're not trying to let these people take our belt or lose the belt. Is it safe to spar?
Yeah, being as though her situation was also that she didn't have the actual sparring partner stay in quarantine with her. They go back to their own prospective houses or families,
which I thought was worse.
Kind of raised the flag for us,
Right, and that's you guys hit it right on the dot. So and it's so funny sometimes healthcare officials. My father's a physician, and I kind of had to school him too. And so in the sense that you're absolutely right. Right now, people are talking about self-quarantine and social distancing, which is very important. But social distancing doesn't just mean keeping a small number and space away from each other, because we all have our small little communities in our house. So me personally, right now, I'm actually staying in my RV just because I don't want to be close to my kids. And if I see so many people at the clinics, right? But what I would say is this: if you have your small knit of people in your house, that's kind of what you want to stay at, right? You don't want to keep introducing new people into your circle, right? So your family members that you're in your home with, you're obviously not going to social distance inside your home. These people you've already been in communication with. So if you have a sparring partner that you've already been sparring with, then, in reality, that's your small network, but you should really keep it at that network. You don't want to keep introducing people. And I'll make this a little bit easier. If right now a good friend invites you over for dinner, right, you're bringing someone new into that potential. It's basically a mathematical equation. one person that you can infect, or they can infect you, and then you take it home to your family. So if everybody's just meeting one new person, we're really not doing our best job at social distancing. At the same point, if you already have someone in that network, you really want to keep it close, and you really don't want to be introducing new people to that bubble, so to speak. So I know that I made it complicated. I said I was going to make it easier. But so if you're sparring already, you've pretty much already, that's the person's in your network. And I'd say, you can most likely definitely keep that, but you want to make sure instead of going home to other people, you actually want to keep yourself in that network. Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense. So is it basically about raising the immune system? Because we got these bro doctors. I got one on the panel. His name is Alexander Dr. Doomsday. So he believes if we eat enough oranges, we'll be okay. Can you explain to our audience, is it more than just oranges to stay healthy?
You know what? Yeah, and unfortunately, we're really just learning about this virus, right? And so a lot of new information is coming out every day. I know you've heard yesterday the National Institute of Health, the main director was talking about vitamin C. And, of course, those are very important things. Now, vitamin C, which I take people discussing about orange juice, you're right, we're not getting enough vitamin C in our daily diet due to foods being so processed. However, if we look at data and see how is vitamin C beneficial, now this is not for coronavirus, this is just on your immune system. We know that it's antiviral and helps our immune system with a common, the flu and maybe the cold. Studies been shown, but that's above 6 grams. 6 grams, not milligrams. And even some studies will push up to 8 grams. So that's a lot of oranges, which can also raise your sugar, which also affect your immune system. So we there's some studies going on with vitamin C and IV vitamin C, and those technically, there's very, very low side effects to that. I would still consult with your physician, especially if you have a history of kidney stones. But it's more than just immune system, right? You have to make sure that you're taking quality vitamin C, so to speak. And there's other factors. You can take all the vitamin C you want in the world, but if you're not getting enough sleep, then that's definitely, something that will affect your immune system. And the other thing as well, we do see those outliers that are pretty darn healthy that get it. And that's also what's called a viral load. So meaning if you just get a little bit of virus in you and your body's strong and like your panelist said there, you have a strong immune system, yeah, you may be able to fight it. But if you get this large load of virus from a big cough or something very contaminated and you don't have that immune system, yeah, it can definitely affect you. So it's a little bit more than just vitamin C, but I'm actually all for it. I'm a big fan of letting our body naturally fight these diseases and getting your body at top tip shape. But it's a little bit more, unfortunately, to just vitamin C.
Yeah, I know. My panelist is Alex, by the way, Dr. Bautista. I know my
Alex,
co-host,
all right,
Ness is always getting at me because I look into the holistic way of healing too, and it's not just
Absolutely.
oranges. There's so many other foods that contain vitamin C, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and the list can go on and on. You could Google this stuff. But I'm always, about the holistic. Right. But just going into what you're doing, man. You said that you were sleeping in the RV. I just, personally, I know everyone on the panel would agree with me, man. Thank you so much for what you're doing, the sacrifice you're putting in, because our medical practitioners are the forefront in this war against this virus. And what you're doing and what you've done in the conversion of your clinic to be able to help is amazing, man. And it's something to be super proud of, man.
Let me
Dr.
jump in.
Bautista.
Let me jump in real quick and just ask, what is your forecast? Because yesterday, Clarissa Shields' unification fight was canceled. Right now, we're discussing Dillian White, his fight in May 2nd, but that looks like it's going to get canceled because PBC and Top Rank canceled everything for May. As a physician, as a doctor, what's the forecast? Are we looking at fall? Do we even get boxing back this year? Or, just stick to the virus. Like, how long before we get a vaccine and it's safe again?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, no, and unfortunately, it's really tough because we're balancing, of course, medical and the health of people and the economy and business. And so you have people like myself that are obviously very biased on the medical aspect, and then you have a legit business and economy, and people say, well, health should always play first. Well, that also plays on people's health. We have people, obviously, with loss of income, come stress and anxiety. We've had so many people show up with panic attacks and thinking they're having heart attacks, of course, right? Blood pressure. So it all plays into effect. And one of the things we are starting to see, as in some areas they level off, we start saying, hey, maybe we pull back. But just like the flu, it's important to know that these things come in what we call bimodal distribution, meaning there's always a second effect, right? As it clears off, we ease up, more people get infected. So I think the main thing we want to do as physicians, get a clear enough path so that we can catch up and we can have enough facilities to handle those very sick people. And then the other thing is, as we get going, more and more studies on medications. Of course, the big one came out on the hydroxychloroquine, which is used for malaria and lupus, and the Z-Pak, right, azithromycin. So those things are still in preliminary studies and data, and so we're trying to get some time to actually have legitimate data, and also so our economy in U.S. and our companies can make these medications. So right now, I would love to give you an answer, but it still looks like it's going to be pushed out, and possibly even more so where we're looking. I know the big goal was to be by April 15th, but it looks like it might pass that up.
Let me jump in really quick.
Go ahead.
Is Corona? Do we know yet? Is Corona seasonal like flu? We say, oh, it's flu season. Has any study show that once the weather breaks that it can die down?
No.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the coronavirus is a virus that we actually get, annually. That's one of our common cold virus. Now, this specific strain, the COVID-19, is obviously new, and that's what the novel virus means, right? It's new to our system, so we're not, our body's not familiar with it. And it can be seasonal. These things tend to come around in the cold season, very much like the flu, right? The flu season, those cold areas. But what makes this one so different is it's, obviously new to our system and is very, very contagious. So, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's going to be seasonal, just because right now it's spreading it was spreading so rapidly, and in some places it's slowing down. People, I think we have to give credit, especially people like yourself. I really think journalists, believe it or not, are doing as good as a job as first responders, because you're getting that information out there ASAP. And by people hearing this and hearing about the people it affects, they say, "Oh crap, man, this is real. I need to practice my social distancing." So if we can continue to do this in areas, I think we can be more sure that this will be less of a seasonal thing, and then we could really kick its butt, so to speak. You know what I mean?
As far as coronavirus testing, is that what's happening at your clinic? Is that what you're doing?
It's COVID testing.
Yeah. So coronavirus. COVID, the COVID-19, the coronavirus testing. It's a pretty difficult thing. Now we fast tracked that through the FDA and whatnot, so that people can get tests, but we're still behind. And so what we're really trying to do is differentiate who needs a test, right?
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, for many people, a test is not going to change the outcome. And I'll give you a great example. If you look at some of these celebrities, in my opinion, some of them probably shouldn't have been tested. They got tested. They sent them home anyway, and they stayed at home for 3 to 4 days until they got the answer. And then once they got the answer that they were COVID positive, they still stayed home. So we need to get it outside of our brain and say, hey, we really don't. If this doesn't change the action of treatment, then we really shouldn't be pushing so much for a test if it's not warranted. Does that make sense? Any stuffy nose right now, runny nose, fever.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to these testing sites. I mean, they're trying to keep them as sterile as possible. I see the drive-through swabbing and stuff.
Right.
But you're still putting a lot of people together in one place, and that's always bad news for some.
Absolutely.
Dr. Bautista, before you go, one last thing. What are the symptoms that you should pay attention to? Because some people are like, I got a headache. Just really quick, because that's important information.
Right.
People get nervous too, man. People get nervous. They sneeze, they may cough, have a scratchy throat, and get paranoid.
Yeah. So the main symptoms, and of course they vary, but for healthcare professionals, what we're really looking for is respiratory distress, shortness of breath. I can't breathe. So if you come across with a fever, chills, headache, you might have the coronavirus. But guess what? Most likely they're going to send you home to self-quarantine anyway, right? The main thing right now is communication, calling your doctor or calling the hospital instead of just showing up and giving them your symptoms and saying, hey, man, I'm short of breath, I'm having difficulty breathing. Then that's when you really want to get in there and make sure that you're available for someone to take care if you need respiratory support. But on the other end, if you just have a fever, chills, body aches, that's very similar to the flu or even a runny nose, you should be self-quarantined, because that can definitely still affect older people. The flu still kills people as well.
Hello, Dr. Batista. This is Mario Munguia. My question pertains more to those of us that are in the house and healthy right now. I've noticed that going grocery shopping, obviously we know what's missing, beans, rice, eggs, milk, meat, but there's no produce missing. There's plenty of produce. There's plenty of stuff that gives us vitamins and then also the, exercising. Like, how much exercising should we be doing a day? How much should we be getting out a day, or at least trying to, walking, running? And what foods would you recommend that we have that obviously aren't able to store for very long, but at the same time provide us that nutrition that we can't use?
Man, that is awesome. I'm so glad that you asked. And that's kind of a lot in one, so I'll just back up to the beginning. Absolutely right when you talked about produce. As a matter of fact, produce is probably our best bet for fighting these COVID-19 as well as the flu. So that's very true. And you actually have talked about shortages, which unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, we're not really seeing these shortages at home. People have actually overstocked, right? So I think what your question right there is probably the most important. We need to change up the way we're looking at this thing. It's very important at this time to be healthy, to be eating these fresh fruits and vegetables. As a matter of fact, one of the most common symptoms I'm getting at my clinic, even from other doctors that have closed, is heart failure. People coming in, they have congested heart failure. They're usually a little bit older. Say, "Doc, I can't breathe. I feel like I'm drowning when I lay down." Well, that's because people are at home eating a lot of processed foods that come in a bag, foods that come in a can. Really quickly, if you're eating, I'll give you an example. If you're eating oatmeal is supposed to be good for you. But if you eat instant oatmeal, that one that comes in a packet has 10 times the sodium of the regular. And these patients with these heart conditions can really swell up and cause themselves to be short of breath for another reason, right? So you're absolutely right. Staying to that healthy produce, which we, I'll divert really quickly. Me and Jose Ramirez, we're actually going to help out some of our local farm workers and deliver. We're still working on the logistics to keep people safe and delivering them fresh vegetables, fresh foods, as well as some toiletries. So that's number one. The second thing that I'm seeing a lot of is actually gout exacerbation. So people are showing up to the ER, and we're trying to divert them. They go, "Oh my God, Doc, I woke up and my knee is killing me." And I say, "Well, yeah, were you drinking a lot?" Because, a lot of people treat this like a barbecue, which I understand. Hey, you got to stay positive. Maybe a little too much drink, eat a little bit too much red meat, and they show up with these big, painful joints, right, which feels like glass in their knees. And that's, again, due to their diet, too much uric acid, we talked, from these meats and alcohol. So when it goes down to exercising, what I would tell people is this: right now is an excellent time to get something started. And I don't like to give a number. You could definitely look at the CDC for recommendations. But what I like to tell people is just get started. And actually getting started with your nutrition is probably more important than your exercise. So starting right now and saying, "Hey, I want to do an intermittent fasting," not to get religious, but right now is the time that we should be fasting and really decreasing what we eat versus an overconsumption, right? And so maybe you say, "Hey, I'm right now is the time," especially since there is so much vegetables there are so much vegetables at the grocery store. Maybe it's time to start implementing our servings of 3 to 5 fresh fruits and vegetables a day. And if you're exercising, if you haven't exercised before, maybe right now the CDC still recommends. Maybe now we go outside and we take that walk and come back inside, of course, practicing social distancing. So I would hate for someone to say, "I need to start exercising for 30 minutes," and they're physically not ready. Does that make sense? So what I tell my patients is this is a good time to start, to make that commitment. In every negative, there's a positive. And the positive right now is that there's a whole bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables waiting for you, that there's not a shortage, that our farm workers are continuing to work and pick. And two, here's an opportunity to go out and walk. We don't need a gym to go push some weights and stuff like that. We can do a lot of safe workouts at home. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but that was an awesome question.
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
So, Doc, you kind of answered the bit of it, but I want to have you get a little bit more in depth on the testing itself. You spoke about, celebrities testing, then going home and remaining home. I just want to add some pop culture. Cardi B came out on her social media. I hope that you heard it. And, she just feels like this is a conspiracy. And I hate that I fell into her social media post, but it kind of feels that way. Like, why can't we get tested if we want? But if a celebrity wants to get tested, they can. And then, the celebrities weren't experiencing any symptoms. and they got tested and tested
you know-
positive. So how do we, as regular everyday people, do not know that we have this virus?
Right. No, and you know what? I did see that post, and you know what? I actually applaud her for that. We have to start thinking like that. There are some people that are getting tested that have made a fuss and say, hey, my husband's a doctor or my wife is a doctor, I need a this and that. And in reality, we need to, just because someone either makes more money or because their husband or wife is a physician, does not mean they should be fast-tracked. We should all go across and say, hey, is this person, does it fit the criteria? And will it make a difference in treatment or in a population? Does that make sense? And I think that's good that in reality that she did bring it up. Now, in terms of a conspiracy, I really can't jump into that, but I would say this. This should show us, of anything, in the United States, that we have to start really stop depending on outside countries to produce some of our supplies, but also our testing. And so they fast-tracked these tests, but they still have to be valid, right? Remember, every test has false negatives and false positives. We call that sensitivity and specificity. So we can't just put a bunch of cheap tests out there. We have to have tests that if you test positive, there's a highly likelihood that you're positive. And so right now, as those are being developed and distributed, we need to one, make sure that they're distributed equally. And I applaud Cardi B for that. Putting that in perspective and putting that in the light says, hey, absolutely right. I've had to turn down plenty of my quote-unquote VIP patients because it's not going to make a difference. I have a very limited number of tests, and I'm going to treat that homeless person the exact same way I'm going to treat a professional athlete. If it makes a difference, then I'll test them. If not, I'm really not going to swab. And I'll be honest, I've swabbed very, very, very few people. As the test comes out more and more, I think we can lower our criteria and screen more for population and data. But right now, we have to question doctors too. There was a doctor down in Southern California that was selling his test for about $250, right? Made the news, and the journalists put him on blast, which is good. And so he went around and I think he donated that $12,000 profit that he made in a week to a charity, which he should have, because right now is not a time to treat people that have more financial background or support than someone that doesn't. So I actually agree with Cardi B on that aspect. I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I think this shows us in the United States that we need to be able to rev things up in a quick manner.
Does the mask work, Dr. Bautista?
Yeah.
Do masks work? Okay. Yeah, that's another one, man. So we, even amongst, I'm a group of 4 doctors in my clinic and a couple nurse practitioners and PAs. We disagree on some stuff as well, right? The N95 masks that people talk about, they're in short supply, as you know. I personally, would like some barrier. So even though I'm running very, very short in supply, when someone comes in coughing, I put a mask on them, even if it isn't the high quality mask, because I do believe that a barrier at least keeps against some of that viral load in. I believe that's just, again, my thoughts and beliefs, and also I'm wearing them. Washing your hands, of course, has been shown to work as well. But I'm one of those guys, not everything's going to be black and white and read just like vitamin C, but there's some things, if you can come out with an educated answer, I might believe it. And I'm one of those that believes that a barrier such as a mask does work if someone is coughing, or if you're sick as well and you don't want to pass that on. Because there's actually a lot of physicians that are sick and still working. Actually, one of our doctors was sick. We tested him. He, of course, came back negative, but he's still sick. And we still don't want him touching coughing or putting droplets on our sick patients, even if it isn't the COVID-19.
So, Dr. Juan Bautista, we got a few questions for you from the people that are listening before we let you go. We got George Foster in the UK says, what's your personal prediction for the COVID-19 outcome? How and when does this end? You kind of said you don't know when it ends. If you feel there's anything you need to add there, you can. If not, we'll just move on and give them a shout out.
Well, yeah, no, I will say again, I don't know the prediction. I wish I could, right? But I would say this, but people like yourself are making it aware, and we are making positive strides. People are going to want to focus on the negative, but there is some positive that's coming out of all of this, right? And so my one prediction that I will say is that we as a people will get better for this, and again, for every negative, there's a positive. I think very, very soon we're going to realize how important it is for us to stay communicating, not just through touch. We all miss hugging our friends, but also through news outlets, social media, and very important podcasts like this. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. We got another one from Ruin of 504 New Orleans. As the pandemic continues to spread, will the rate of the mortality stay low?
That's a good question. So will the rate of the mortality go low? And that's the mortality of this virus mainly comes with the people's ability to get a respirator, right? To get respiratory support. So if we can't intubate and control a person's breathing, then because we have no machines, then you're going to have a higher mortality rate. As long as we have space available, right? And there's, you've seen on the news, there's new machines being built and ordered, which is awesome. People will not die. Will people get sick? Yes, but they won't die. And that's the main concept here. We want to make sure that there's enough respirators and machines, so to speak, to handle the amount of sick people. So yes, I think more people will get infected, but I think less people will die if we make this a slower virus, so to speak. But also as we create these facilities and put more machines, I think we'll see less and less mortalities.
Okay, we got Dual Ingram in Compton, California says, during the Obama administration, there was a lot of critique, including from the healthcare professionals, on Obamacare. How much worse, if any, do you think the COVID-19 pandemic would be without forcing changes in the healthcare system? I mean, are patients that don't have healthcare going to be expected to pay for their hospital bills?
So no, that's a very good question, and I'm a big believer that we need physicians and healthcare workers, nurses, PAs in politics for these type of reasons, right? And it's a balance because again, you're going to come across and you're going to see this didn't need to happen, and we needed to bring some awareness of there needs to be some access of care. Now, in terms of the hospital bills, people paying for these bills, I actually think that the country is going to step up. And I'm not just talking about the stimulus, but there's been many efforts put in place, and not just by my small clinics, but by these hospitals to take care of the community right now. So you're seeing a lot of people not only waiving bills and mortgages, right? And you're hearing different governors, but a lot of these hospitals workers are also doing the same in the sense of when people are coming through with a swab to get swabbed or get checked, many of them are not getting processed for payment, right? Unfortunately, that doesn't make as much as news, but there's a lot of hospitals also stepping up for this. So I don't think that people are going to receive these crazy bills. And if they do, just like you're doing right now on this podcast, we need to bring awareness. Just like Cardi B did, we need to bring awareness. I guarantee they'll shut those down. But going back to Obamacare, I think whether it was good or bad for that situation, I think it was good for this to bring awareness, to show, hey, there's so many people that need access to care.
We got Carlito in the UK who says, over here, our PM used the herd immunity method to deal with the COVID-19 outbreak, and we are seeing that London is now on the same curve as Lombardy, Italy, Wuhan, China. And what's your opinion on the herd immunity, and will it take the government to enforce self-isolation for it to work?
That's a very, very good question, and we tend to see that different epidemiologists look at these again, mathematical equations to say, hey, can we handle this in a different way? There's actually quite a few doctors and politicians in Florida that are recommending something very similar to this. So for those that don't know, herd immunity, what we're hoping is that by giving people, I guess, a little bit of virus, you can say, right? So people can build their immune system. It kind of spreads out in a way that people build this immunity rather than just getting sick randomly. And that's definitely a thought. It's a big thought amongst physicians and amongst academic institutions. I think more and more we will start going towards that way. The problem with this situation and with the UK and with Italy, it's just how quickly it hit, how quickly this virus. So we have to realize, I'll go to boxing, right? When a guy comes in swinging and, it pops you in the chin, you kind of have to back up and get your bearings straight, right? They always say, hey, get your feet under you again. Well, that's kind of where we're at right now. And that's where the UK was, and that's where Italy was as well. So I think we are going to head towards that way, but right now it's just the massive influx of this disease that's coming. We're trying to get prepared.
Should keep an eye for. He had like too many questions.
That's again,
so
also
we'll go with that one. What's the primary symptoms? Because he had like 3 packaged in there.
Right. And again, this is what makes it so difficult. The symptoms can be all over the place. They tend to run like a common cold all the way up to like a flu, right? And it depends, again, on your immune status. It depends on the viral load, how much you get. So for some of us that are very healthy, we won't have any symptoms. We just will be a quick carrier. And that's what makes this difficult. That's what really makes this difficult. And that's why we want people to socially isolate, right? So, and practice social distancing, I'm sorry. So you can have no symptoms, or you can have a common cold-like symptoms, or you can have all the way up to a flu. And even all the way up to the flu-like symptoms, what we really worry about is respiratory distress or shortness of breath, difficulty breathing. Now, the question is, can you get this virus again? And the answer is no. You will get, your body will get used to this strain of virus. Now, can it mutate? Absolutely. That's what happens with the flus every year. New viruses come out. And so that's why people really want us right now to give it a chance just to fight this one strain of the virus.
All right. We have Caesar in Las Vegas. From everything I've seen online, I find out that there's a U.S. patent. He gives the number to the U.S. patent, but I won't read it for audio purposes. For the coronavirus, which was applied in 2006 by a company called Cryon, and there's also a European patent for a vaccine, which was applied in 2014 and granted in 2019. So that means there's already had the cure before this became such a huge pandemic. So what is really going on here? I'm telling you, there's so many conspiracies. I was going to actually tag you on a doctor that was saying all of this.
Right. Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of that stuff too. And I'm going to be straightforward. I'm ignorant to know that. I don't know those things. My job is to treat sick people. If in fact there's conspiracies and there's vaccines available, I'll tell you, I don't know them and I don't have them. My number one job is to take care of people for what I have now. And that can even be sometimes just using this tool right here with you right now, educating people to get sleep and to tell people the reality of this virus. In terms of the conspiracies, I really can't speak on that stuff. I would say this, and I'm not downplaying him as well. I would say this: there's a lot of things out there, but number one, your number one source for most people should be the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, and that's going to be how to, the symptoms, where to go if you're sick. And things like that. In terms of everything else, if there was a vaccine that I knew about, if there was a treatment that I knew about, I would absolutely give it. I still believe there's enough good doctors and good people in this world. Now, whether there's a conspiracy or not, you choose to believe that. That's kind of up to you. But I would still look at the benefit for many, right, and make sure if you don't have that vaccine, then you should still practice. If you don't have that treatment, right, then you should still practice your social distancing and take care of your community.
All right, we have one more from Anthony, who says, I have read reports of organ damage post-COVID-19. Has this happened in any cases you have seen? Also reports of reoccurring cases, i.e. getting the virus repeatedly. I have heavier questions. Nesso, bring him back. I want to chop it up on athlete organ size differences, the SARS, AIDS, COVID-19 connection.
Right.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a lot of questions, so you pick only one, please.
Yeah, that was a lot of questions. Yeah. Okay, so in reality, what we worry about with this COVID-19 or with SARS that we saw, this virus tends to bind into what we call these angio2 receptors in the lung. Just so in an easy way, it's these receptors that we see in people's lungs. And what happens is our body attacks, and it's actually not the virus that damages our body, but our body sends what's called a cytokine storm. So it sends these, think of it like acids, right, to kill this bug, which actually is detrimental to our own body. So in reality, it's really not a deficient immune system, but a hyperimmune system. This immune system lets out these cytokines and these acids, and it can damage your lungs, which can, in turn, if you're not oxygenating well, damage your kidneys and heart and things like this. So that's what we worry about. We worry about this sepsis that we tend to see that when these people are highly infected. With that being said, I think that's why it's very important as we're reading and we're learning about certain medications that can possibly upregulate this receptor, meaning put you at higher risk. That's another show. And so those medications that can cause that, what are they for? They're for high blood pressure. We give it to people with heart disease. We give it to diabetics to protect their kidneys. So yes, those are treatments, but I think we need to look in the mirror now and like your first question and say, well, hey, maybe this is also a wake-up call that we're very unhealthy. Us as Americans and nationwide, we really have to watch what we put into our body and become healthier so that we can naturally defend ourselves against this virus or reduce our risk of getting this. So that was a big question. I'd definitely love to come back. But yeah, you do see some problems with this due to how your body responds, and it can definitely damage your tissue, different organs.
Well, Dr. Juan Bautista, man, just want to thank you once again for your time. Thank you for coming on the program, talking some boxing, and obviously educating us on COVID-19. I do want to ask you one more question from a doctor's standpoint, but a boxing fan as well. Yesterday, we had a trainer by the name of Rick Ramos, who it's his opinion that Errol Spence Jr. will never lace up gloves professionally again. Did you see the videos of Errol Spence flipping his Ferrari and being ejected out? And do you believe that post that accident, he will be able to fight again?
Oh, that's a good. I did not see it. Obviously, I read, and he was actually one of my favorite boxers to watch. That's a tough question. I think he definitely needs to get a neurological evaluation, someone that specializes on trauma of the brain, right? And I think before he's allowed to box, I think people really have to look at him because, boxing, man, he's a young man and boxing is his livelihood, right? Boxing is his livelihood, but, there's a lot of us that put our bodies at risk and injure ourselves. And so before we take this away from this young man, at least we have to give him the opportunity or to get checked out medically. And if he is capable, then, I think, we can't take away this guy's gift. Now, if there is, he also needs to learn those risks as well, just as a football player is given the risk nowadays of long-term, traumatic brain injury. I think, the Errol Spence needs to get that exact same opportunity to do that, to take away someone's livelihood, and he has to make that decision as well. He has to get all those, the facts and everything in place before they make that decision.
Well, Dr. Bautista, once again, man, just want to thank you for coming on, answering all our questions. It was definitely a treat. Appreciate your time. Please give out any social media for anybody not following you, and obviously give out the address to your clinic for anyone that wants to visit. Right.
No, so my social media is at Dr. B Fit MD. That's Doctor spelled out, Dr. B Fit MD on Instagram. And then in Facebook, we're Guzman Bautista. Dr. Guzman's my business partner. So Guzman Bautista on Facebook. And if I could just say one thing right now, if anything, it shows that we still need young minds to go into science, because that young person in Harlem, that young person in Compton, that young person in Washington, D.C. might be the person that creates this next treatment, or might be the one that tells us, hey, this is how much vitamin C we have. And so we need to start, again, recruiting people from all backgrounds to get into our health and sciences as we once did in the past. And I tell people this all the time. I was a college ball player, been around a lot of fighters, and I tell people it's still cool to study, man. You can kick butt in the gym, but you can kick butt in school. And I think now, if anything, we need to people to step up and really go back to academics and take it so seriously.
Well said.
No, man, I definitely want to congratulate you for all your success on becoming a doctor and definitely giving people in your community and of your ethnicity and background a positive influence, letting them know that it could be done, man, because we're not used to, doctors being Latino, man. So we appreciate you definitely from a minority standpoint. I want to thank you once again and definitely get you on regularly, man. Juan Bautista, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Thank you for being on the front lines. We all appreciate that very much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Juan Bautista coming on the program, talk a little bit of COVID-19, giving us a little education, man. Now we know, Doomy, all you're doing is stacking up on the sugar, and sugar turns to fat with all your little oranges. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna stop
And-
COVID.
and possibly kidney stones.
That's what
Yo.
he said when I was gone.
Yeah.
Nah, these guys just mess with
Yeah,
me,
he
man.
did.
Oh man,
He
what did he
said
say? Do
one
me.
thing
Bro,
really
My
bro,
girl
pissed
eats
me
a
off.
lot of oranges.
these guys are thinking that I'm eating like 20 oranges a day or something. like
I'm not. That's me to see now.
Yo,
But
Let me tell you, the only problem with
real
that.
quick,
Go ahead, Enrique.
real quick, right? I saw on the news last night. NYU allowed some medical students to graduate early to help out fight combat Corona COVID-19.
Dude, talking about early, bro. I got the exact opposite report of that. NYU is graduating kids early to be doctors. Well, New Jersey, the Green Monster, the biggest jail here in New Jersey, is releasing over 1,000 people who are a year and under. No, it's legit. They got released Tuesday.
No, I understand that's legit, but it's non-violent.
Yeah, probational.
Yeah, probation violations and stuff like that.
Been in the first place.
Yeah, but I just don't get it. If we releasing people, I mean, this thing must be bad.
Well, I think this is the conspiracy guy in me, right? I think in some of these facilities, if this continues to go this bad, and I mean it's doubling up, cases are doubling up every.
It's about to flatten though.
One of y'all
we'll
clipping.
See when it flattens, but if it don't, they're gonna need
let Alex burn. I want to hear what he's saying.
Yeah, because if this keeps going and we don't get a grip on it, and it just the exponential amount of cases keeps coming, I fear that some of these institutions are going to be used for sites, for sites,
that's a good
quarantine
point.
people,
That's a good
sites.
The conspiracy theorists in them.
Any building, and this has gone through FEMA training. They not that I've had it, but they basically set up shop anywhere, and they use anything as a fort or a command center.
I want to counter that because we have like the Prudential Center, we have the Meadowlands. We got those empty arenas that belong to the state, and that could work first before a jailhouse.
Yeah, but you got to understand these they're already set up to quarantine and lock. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're not set up to they're not set up to medically quarantine. You can't put a dude in a cell and expect the virus not to freaking float.
Word, a cell?
Nah, but FEMA comes in and makes all the adjustments.
Nah, man, the Navy ships will show up.
That's Alex. He's a super duper conspiracy theorist. Listen, don't forget, in about 7 minutes we got Andre Berto coming on, former world champion. So we're gonna be talking some boxing with him as well.
On another thing, that good side of me, right? I haven't worked for a while. People are like, yo, collect unemployment, right? I'm like, all right. People are like, yo, what about your money for a rainy day? I'm like, all right, what about it? But guess what? My car note, right? They called me and they like, yo, is COVID affecting you? I'm like, yeah, I'm out of work. They like, well, here, we're going to send you an application and your next bill isn't due until July. I'm like, oh, shit, awesome. So that's
that with my girl.
Saved.
Yeah, but what about the interest? They better pause that interest. Listen,
no,
really quick, let me just kind of make a new call with y'all because you guys are clipping a lot there. And, I want the audio to be a little bit better. But in the meantime, I'm also going to open up the phone lines. I know we don't have that much time before we get Andre Berto, and I know kind of yesterday one of the guys wanted to not talk without both interviews happening, but just in case.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Yeah, man, I wanted to restart the call. You guys were clipping too much. It's definitely a Skype thing, so whenever we hear it, it's just best to restart. Now we don't.
Blur is looking wild.
Who minds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even use the blur. I think that junk happens on its own.
Yeah, you can shut it off. It's like the mic is the only thing in focus.
Damn, it's clipping so bad. Why is it doing that?
Clippy.
Yeah, but anyway, man, let me see. We got 5 minutes. I'll leave it to you. I'm going to jump in the back, see if we're going to get this Berto guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Ness is the only one not clipping, though. It's weird.
Nah, I don't hear any clipping at all.
I hear all of y'all.
I hear it clearly. It pisses me off.
I hear everybody.
Like Mario's not clipping.
I can hear myself clipping.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Like myself a little.
How about I go to a caller? They ain't gonna be clipping. The 513 Cincinnati new caller. Who's this? 513.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you when you get off that speaker. 513. I'm about to put the clock on you too, man. You playing games with the speaker. 1, 2, 3. What's up, Chant? Oh man, he dropping ball big time.
Who was that?
I don't know. It was a new caller.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew it was a new caller, but I thought he sounded like you knew him.
I mean, he obviously listening to the show. That's why he said my name.
I was gonna get the name. Yeah, he did. That's why I was gonna try to get the name down though.
Yeah. Let me see here. I still haven't been able to place the text to
Go ahead, bro. We got you.
All right.
Yeah, in all honesty, he even said it, man. You know, got guys coming in for sparring. You might want to just quarantine, man. This thing is crazy. Even one new person he said that you introduce is like the spread is there, man.
Right.
Like, the risk is there.
I like that you brought it back to that because I was like, and then maybe Ness could chime in. What happens to the quality of sparring now? You know what I mean? Like Dillian White. Who's the matchup? Somebody canceled. They couldn't spar.
Jermaine Franklin. Yeah, we ain't even tell. Jermaine Franklin supposed to be sparring Povetkin and preparing for Dillian White. And it would have been great sparring, but now he can't even use them because he can't go to the UK because of the travel ban.
Right. Now, do you postpone because of that? Like, that's like...
Well, it looks like the fight's going to get postponed, man. It looks like that's what's going to happen.
The fight's probably going to get postponed anyway. I wouldn't say it's because of basically one thing or another, but it's all of these things combined. And the Amanda Serrano situation, like, there's so many fighters out there. Man, who am I thinking of? Light heavyweight just came out. That he can't spar. Like, he's just having so many problems. They're all having problems with training camp. And if these fights continue and this thing dies down and we end up getting them, like, what kind of fights are we going to get out of these guys?
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Result.
If they lose, what ends up happening, Enrique? Like, do they get that pass?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. I'm just saying that the public's going to be like, yo, he lost because he didn't get the right training because of the COVID-19.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 blah.
You know what's crazy though, Reek, man? We're all in the same boat. Like, all the fighters are on the same boat. You know what I'm saying? It's not like only one camp is having problems with COVID. So
of course,
it's gonna be.
But there are fighters.
How in shape you stay until your fight comes out.
But there are fighters like McCaskill that's not taking it as serious as other people. They are sparring, so they are prepared. But we're not doing COVID-19 testing at the commission. That's what they need to implement. If they start giving people dates and allowing events, well, then they need to implement COVID-19 testing. I mean, they said it's 4 days. Hopefully, by the time they open up sports, they could have a turnaround test quicker.
Yeah, but then also what the doctor was saying, the test ain't for everybody. You know, they ain't no VIP test. You know, so
well, that's a lie because there's VIP for the NBA. They tested the whole NBA. That was VIP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be people getting tested first. You know, celebrities, basketball stars, all the major investments. You know, people that are worth to these big outfits. You know, a lot of money. So you know their investments. They're humans, but they're investments in themselves.
So are
they're gonna mess around, and we're not gonna go to any games because we didn't get tested, and so they're gonna stop getting paid. So.
Soon you're gonna have to own. Your vaccination is going to be attached to your payment plan. So when you pay with your card, it's going to say, he's not vaccinated, not allowed in there.
Why are you saying that on air, bro? You're just giving these guys more and more fuel.
Check it, though. I didn't get
a chance. The truth. That's the conspiracy in me.
I didn't get a chance to mention it while the doctor was on, but there's a doctor right now in Rutgers University here in Jersey who's, on the cusp of, coming out with a test that actually gives you the results in 1 day or 5 hours or something like that. It's like it's pretty much like then and now. And ultimately, the CDC would want to be able to.
Yes, sir.
Just help me keep an eye if we see Berto. It should be like a 702, which is Vegas, or a Florida number.
702.
Which
I'm good.
Which Florida could be 407s, 386s, all type of shit.
Do you know what city?
I keep putting the caller.
I don't know. I haven't.
Well, just to finish that thought, they really eventually wanted to be able to get testing to everybody where they can test themselves at their house in their own quarantine, and thus, kind of avoiding all the spread.
Yeah,
man. Doctor in Rutgers, man. I hope he comes out with that.
For Franklin, I think that it sucks because this is high level sparring, former world champion in Alexander Povetkin. It would have been obviously out of the country. It would have been an experience for him. Look, he gets good sparring. He sparred Abdi Dapatev in the Krunk gym. I'm sure he spars, the Iceman as well in the Krunk gym. But, Povetkin is Povetkin. So this is a failed opportunity that it goes down because of COVID-19. Now, also, you guys can give me your opinion on Clarissa Shields. She also had to postpone her fight. We can obviously talk about that later this evening or leave it for this evening because it is Thursday.
Yes, sir.
I was assuming we're leaving the Wilder Fury for this evening too, right?
Everything.
Okay, cool. Good. I'm not going to say nothing then. Yeah, it's tough, man. Listen, I think all of this is just so indicative of how we weren't prepared. You know what I mean? Boxing, sports, like all that took a back seat, and yet they're still trying to find a way to go on, which, in one breath, it's noble because these fighters do need fights. These fighters do need payments. But in another way, it's like really greedy because you're asking these guys to get in gyms and sparring with people, and you're not doing the same thing.
What happened to our relief package, right, Mario?
Exactly.
Well, hold on.
Why can't boxers get some type? I mean, you're right. We risk it in the ring. You're risking your life every time. Me going into a camp half-assed, but trying to save the promoter's show.
Exactly.
And now all the pressure falls on me.
You're right.
Where's my relief?
Y'all talking hypothetical. I'm saying that, look, if it's
not hypothetical right now, there's some fights that are still on the docks. These guys.
I think it's on the dock, but I'm not seeing it happening.
They told Jessica, be ready. We are gonna go like that. That's not fair, bro.
That's not fair. But that's not fair on her behalf, right? I think that like Clarissa Shields taking step down. And other fighters saying, nah, I don't want this to happen because they're conscious that they are part of the people that step down. They're part of the combat against the strand.
Well, let me tell you this, Enrique. The UFC did some shows where there was no audience. It was just the people from the broadcast and the referees and the officials. I mean, it was limited, a very, very limited. But it was held in the UFC Las Vegas gym. They have a big gym over there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe boxing can do something like that too. I know the ticket sales are very important, but maybe that's a way where dates can be saved. Maybe the audience won't be there, but you can still send it through the broadcasting and telecast and all the networks or apps.
And that's a greed. That's just greed right now. That's just banking off of our numbers will be high because everyone's gonna be watching because they don't have nothing else to do but be home and watch. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want to take advantage of that, and it's a selfish thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking.
But I mean,
in my opinion, that's what I feel.
I think it'd be very safe, if you wanted to save your show to kind of quarantine the people that are going to be involved in the show, have them tested. I mean, if you're a promoter or any of these, ESPN, you have the money to, get testing for the people that are going to, bring you back money, their investments to you, and just kind of quarantine the show. You know what I'm saying?
Just to remind you, Dr. Bautista said, and it's on the news every single day, testing is limited.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for the people who have the means, man. $34,000.
No,
for a test or
the
whatever.
testing availability is limited.
Yeah, for us, Cash.
Yeah, I promise you, Canelo could not only get himself a test, but he could get his opponent a test. He could get everybody on the undercard a test. He might be able to get everybody in the building a test.
He ain't getting everybody on the card no test.
No, I know he's not going to do that.
Golden Boy probably get the whole card tested though.
Oh, yeah.
If the NBA could do it, why can't
I know
he?
they couldn't do that.
Right, you still want to save the show? Because, look, in all honesty, guys, we don't know how long this is going to go on.
You're right.
So they need to start talking about contingencies and other type of ways to go, because if this thing continues, God forbid, if this thing continues and we're looking at something that's going to continue up to September, October, all those fights that everybody's thinking that, okay, we're going to be okay by then you got to restructure something to try to put these shows on. If not, you're losing the
phase. It's 2 phases, and that's why we are all home, right? You stay home for 14 days, 15 days. You don't have any symptoms. You go out, right? Or if you go out, you can come back with symptoms, or you stay home for 14 days. You feel sick on your 15th day. Now you have to stay home another 14 days. They already simplified it for us. Kathy could come in and infect one person, and then John infects 2 people. Those 2 people affect the other 4 people, and it just doubles. It's a rapid, contagious virus. That's why we are all on shutdown. So y'all acting like it's like, oh, we sneeze and cover our mouths and then get tested and we good and go in the gym and quarantine. But guess what? While we sparring and training and all of us on quarantine, on day 9, one of us feels sick. 2 people in that gym are sick. The whole shit is shut down.
Well, we're not going through
severity of the virus.
We're not going through the whole medical process we're just suggesting these things. And at the end of the day, if it was to be implemented, obviously every preemptive measure is going to be taken in order for the show not to be risked, being as though they would already be pouring in money to save it. So it's just a thought. It's just a thought.
Because, I read though?
We ain't getting boxing, and that hurts.
Yeah. You know what I read? The only silver lining here that I've seen, the one thing I read is that a lot of the people staying home, our ozone started to fix itself, and a lot of things in nature, like with pollution, is starting to revert. Right. So, that's
but that's not even true, bro. Like, has anybody gone outside after this quote unquote time?
Exactly.
I've been jogging. I went to buy fucking ice cream yesterday at 10 o'clock at night, and yes, it was less traffic, but man, ain't nobody staying home. There's no curfew. The line for White Castle was around the block, my friend. I promise you. I promise you. I drove past White Castles like, what in the world? I told my girl, I said, look at babe, DK curfew. Ain't no curfew. There's no curfew.
There is a curfew, but the law, they doing like
something. Bruh, how there's a curfew if White Castle's open?
No, I'm just telling you.
Drive through.
How the fucking we call Sonic, right?
I haven't gone out.
We call Sonic. We call Sonic because I wanted a specific ice cream. I want to make sure they open and shit. They like 12 minutes. I'm like, in the car. So I'm like, boom, she called. We open 24 hours. What?
Yeah, because food and medical and I forgot the other one. It's essential.
Bro, how is that essential? Supermarket is essential, my friend. Not fucking Sonic and White Castles.
Nah, it's probably a great area.
You can get that.
It's probably a gray area. They giving food.
And there's no dine-in, right?
You better go inside and see how they serve it.
No, but kids, that's true too. Kids are going to school to pick up their lunch, you know what I'm saying, in New York City and New Jersey.
They're allowing parents to do it now.
Yo, America needs their McDonald's, B.
Look, I got this note, right? And this is from a doctor. Right, coronavirus explained easily. Karen got infected yesterday, but she won't know until 14 days later.
Get your little Instagram post out there. I seen that shit on Instagram 20 days ago. I got this note from a doctor. Karen got it. Bro, that's literally everywhere on Instagram. Get your ass out of here, bro. He really just tried to pass an Instagram post off as... Bro, first of all, call your girl Karen and tell her why the fuck she lying to you. Made you look stupid. 2, stop trying to fake like you're a doctor.
And bringing somebody into your gym, and 14 days later, she actually is sick. Then what does that mean about you 15 days later?
Listen.
Or on fight night.
Listen, I told you how it was going to be with Berto because he ain't give me the number. He wanted me to go through Julie. So no contact. We're going to open up the phone lines. We already did our... sponsors, and don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Remember, if you've already reviewed, you can always review because guess what? When you review, you're letting people know your new experience here with the Boxing Voice. You know what I mean? So do that.
Before you go to the calls, just remember tonight we will have Richardson Hitchens at 7:30 Eastern, Ronald Ellis at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Jose Ramirez at 8:30 Eastern. That's all tonight. Join us 7 p.m. Eastern right here.
And that's blew my spot, man. That shit.
That was the best part of the podcast, other than the doctor interview. So
I should have not said I got it from a doctor. Damn.
Why you say that, bro? That shit. I seen it on Instagram. Yo, everybody sharing that on Instagram, bro. I
wanted your attention,
bro. I see strippers
on Instagram.
I see strippers sharing that on Instagram, and I say to myself, "What is you talking about? Your job been shut down." Yo, I was talking about that with my girl yesterday. Like, damn, yo, strippers suffering right now. Cause some people still get to work.
They got drive-through peep shows.
No, in Atlanta they doing virtual lap dances. But my girl laughed at that. But I said to myself, I ain't get into detail with her, but I said to myself, like, bro, that's old school. Everybody, all these Instagram girls got whatever OnlyFans is, which is like it's like a Patreon for hornbags.
They with that. Uncut, all right. That was BET Uncut. Watching that Swisher House video, yo, you could see that stuff at midnight on BET. So that ain't nothing new to me.
Yeah, I mean, you could just go to Pornhub.
I mean, you ain't gotta
go get it in, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's Enrique's boss in him right there. He ain't got time to waste.
That's a good question, though, Ness. Yo, they ain't making money.
No, they ain't making no money. You know, strip clubs is shut down. Yo, they doing house calls. They doing house calls. Yo, social. Imagine a stripper doing social distancing lap dances.
Hold up. But once you introduce the stripper to your house, now you introducing a potential case of COVID.
No, dog.
OnlyFans stock just went up right now.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, they either got to go virtual or digital, right? Or they, you know, the ones that's not talented, you know, or savvy enough, they out of it because it's difficult right now, bro. It's difficult right now, you know.
Especially if you're a single woman and that's your only income. That shit is hard. And there's a lot of women out there grinding like that, bro. And that is crazy. Ain't no government package.
And imagine you work in one of those restaurants or one of those bars. That's
another thing. My girl said that too.
That's a month's rent. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, my girl said that too. When I said strippers, she said, what about those bottle girls that think they not strippers? That's true. They ain't got no job neither.
Oh, damn.
She's a savage.
Yo, they ain't got no job either, so they asked out, bro. I'm telling you, it's hard out here for a pimp. I'm telling you right now.
People working at the stadiums that these.
I think the pimp he's like White Castle. He's an essential. He knows it.
You crazy, bro? Listen, let this be a warning right now to anybody who's still A, using a pimp, and B, using a freaking prostitute. That's super COVID, bro. Like that, she's jumping from place to place. She got the virus already. You can't. Of
course.
Stop, man. No, stay away from pimps. Stay away from pimps and hoes at this time.
If you online at White Castle, who knows Karen ain't the one at the drive-through?
Here you go. Back to Karen in his Instagram post. He trying to add credibility to his Instagram post.
It makes sense. Karen could be in the motherfucking Sonic serving up that ice cream.
That's what I said.
At the drive-thru.
Right in his home, natural element.
Yeah, Mario.
Mario,
but if they wearing gloves, that don't mean you watching every second that they coughing or sneezing over that food. You know how it is.
I washed my hands. I got a timer. I wash my hands every 25 to 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I got a bottle. I'm just spraying. So I take that gamble.
Let me mess your head up real quick.
Not for White Castle.
Let me mess your head up real quick. You've been washing your hands with antibacterial soap your whole life, right?
Yeah.
So
you're immune.
No. In essence, you've weakened your immune system.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Over time, you haven't allowed your hands to be introduced to all this and allowed your body to grow a resistance toward it. There was a study on that, so just wanted to mess your head up on that.
Bro, and it's even worse.
That's Instagram too.
No, this is old. This is old.
So my immune already weakened from all the medicine I take. So sucks, bro.
Listen, let's jump out to these lines, man, because let me double check one more last time with Bertho. That's why I told. This is why I don't like scheduling dudes without a number. But I understand, pay-per-view stars, 500,000. None of these new welterweights been able to do 500,000. You know what I mean? And no number, man. Only publicists. That didn't happen. So we going down the order. You know the order. Pound for pound, Mastermind, Boomerang, getting it on. We going to New Orleans. Good morning.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Derek.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing. You want to bet on?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Good morning, yo.
Good morning.
Hey, that was a great interview. Guys said a lot of stuff that I already knew due to the fact that I do have a wife that's in the medical field, and she had some similar understandings to what you do in this situation. So, I mean, good update for people who need to know that knowledge and stuff like that. And I still gained some stuff from it. What's the foundation of this show?
Jermaine Franklin, because of the COVID-19 and the travel ban on the United Kingdom, now can no longer go help Povetkin get ready for Dillian White. And honestly, I thought that would have made a good sparring partner.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. I am so concerned about Dillian White and who can't help him prepare. That's my call.
Oh, man. I like Dillian White. I still want that Wilder fight, man. And, look, he's consistent. For me not to like him, it would be hypocritical of me because I asked people to beat Clubber Lane.
Clubber Lane? No, he's relentless on the trolling. He's good at that. I don't know if it's him or somebody handling his.
No, it's definitely him. It's definitely him.
He a funny dude, man.
There was a glitch in the Matrix yesterday. I promise you, I was gonna even announce it. But we got so deep into those 3 interviews yesterday, because we weren't expecting Rick Ramos to also interview, that I forgot to say that Dillian White unblocked us. So then when I remembered this morning early as hell, that's why we were a little late. I wake up crazy earlier. You see all those notifications, that's me posting away on you on every platform. But yeah, man, so when I went to hit him up this morning, because I'm dealing with someone in his camp, and I let them know, like, yo, does he even know that he got us blocked? Because he keeps saying we could get an interview, but I'm like, how we gonna do that if you got us blocked? So yesterday I checked and it was unblocked, but obviously I was busy about everything. I didn't get to send a message to him. And when I went today, user cannot be found. I said, what? Was it a glitch in Instagram or, which is crazy because I'm not blocked. Like my personal account is not blocked. So, I don't know. But we're going to get Dillian on. I'm telling you, we're going to hunt these interviews down one way or another. We're going to get you. We're going out to Trey in the Bay on a Boomerang. What up? Good morning. Trey, just listening, going once.
Hey, come back to me, Dan.
Coming back to you. Intrigue. Usually you listening, brother. You know the routine. Talk to me, Boomerang.
Riding in the form with a form 4G on my feet and the paint look wet.
Every Boomerang coming back. I'm about to start going down the line. Come, just get y'all calls later for audio purposes, so we can actually get some boxing talk. Everybody, we get a bunch of intros and they're like, yo, come back. What's the show about? Yo, come back. I'm like, oh, man. But I know he know what's going on.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, yo. Tell them the truth.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Tell them the truth, yo. Tell them the truth.
Good morning, my boxing brothers. I see y'all on point this morning.
Good morning, Chad.
Buenos dias,
Hey,
champ.
man. Hey, what up, Doomsday? What up, Cass? Weezy? Good show, man. Hey, man, I went out yesterday, man. I went to 4 stores, couldn't find no Lysol wipes and nothing like that, man. No vitamin C. I went to the 5th store and found some vitamin C. But shit is getting crazy out here in LA. But I wanted to make this point, man. Watch the money that you collect, man, and the money that you pass out, man. I think the money could be the reason why this shit is spreading, man. Cash.
Yo,
Joe, all your cash to me info, and I'll take care of it.
Joe, that shows your age right there, Joe. That shows your age right there. What you still doing with cash, champ?
Hey, man. Hey, man, I always was told, man, disaster, withdraw some cash in case the ATM goes out.
Nah, you're right. You're right, bro. Let me tell you,
right.
With the COVID.
Boy, you're going to be first in line with the strip club.
Yo, I changed all my passwords as soon as the COVID happened, bro. I'm telling you. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. This was before I seen that doctor on Instagram saying the same thing Caesar on Patreon said about the patents for the virus. And I seen that video because of Doomy. I ain't even believe. I just went to visit Doomy, and I'm hearing it play in the background. Like, what the hell? So when I went on that ice cream run, I told my girl about it, and I had him send it back to me so I could show her. But yeah, man, that's crazy that there's a patent on the virus and a patent on the cure.
Hey, you always remember, man, the media, they got gatekeepers. They only let out so much information to the public, man. We only getting half truths, you know what I'm saying? And we still don't know. I remember they were saying that only old people can get it. Then I had heard some people saying black people, we can't get it because we got melanin. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Cut it.
I heard that too.
Cut it.
We going out to Israel, Oklahoma. Talk to me. Actually, Israel, I'll be right back to you. Sorry about that. Got a boomerang I see on the line. Apologies. Going out to
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game, my boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me for I'm a 54 pounder, but I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, I did want to say, I heard you say that White Castle was open. Now, down here in Houston, we got I don't know if y'all are the same, but we got to have these essential notes that we got to show police officers. You know what I mean? So it's essential that we need something to eat. You know what I mean? So somewhere got to be open. You know what I mean? So that's just something I want to throw in about that. Now, as far as I love the interview with the doctor. That shit was dope. That's something that a lot of us needed to hear. Because all we've been hearing is this internet shit, right? You know what I mean? And then you got doctors. We don't even know if these doctors is real on some of these posts. This shit is all over the place.
You see, Enrique had his doctor's note.
I have my thyroid spreading note, which I'm taking serious. Regardless.
Hey, real quick though, let me add to that list of people that's not really working like that. Ain't nobody buying.
Cut it.
Hate to do it to you, champ. You got a boomerang though. Keep that in mind. Use it. We going out to Israel. Let me make sure I don't see Steve in here. Damn, Steve, I almost skipped you. Steve in Chicago, ringer status, talk to me.
Yeah, I don't have much to add today. I just want to ask, what happened to yesterday's show? It got cut off. I went back to try to catch it because I had to get away, and it cuts off at the 2-hour mark.
I know, bro. I don't know. We had a glitch, and we lost 2 hours of that show, which was unfortunate because that was a 4-hour show. Really good.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I wasn't able to listen to the last half live. Actually, about 10 minutes before it cut is when I had to get off. But all right. Yeah, I don't have much to add, man. But, hey, man, great work, and keep up the good work.
All right. Well, we got plenty of callers, so if we get a late admission from Berto, we'll take it. He's not on right now. So, but let me see. I got a couple of other guests that we need to go ahead and mention. Like Mario said, we got Richardson Hitchens today. We got Ronald Ellis, Golden Boy, super middleweight. He's training with Canelo. This is his 5th camp with Canelo. Then we got unified champion Jose Ramirez. IBF and WBO champion. No, WBC and WBO champion in the 140-pound division. That's later on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. Same place. Then we got tomorrow a big schedule. Wow. Wasn't expecting this for a Friday, but this is the way the cookie crumbles, and we're just going to keep on working for you guys because we're chasing you, not views. So we got Jamel Herring, that is the IBF champion in the 130-pound division. Then we got Lamont Roach, contender in the 130-pound division. Then Brandon in Cincinnati. I'm hoping that, you have both your hands on the wheel. We have Alicia Bumgarner. See, if you ask, I try. Why? Because Brandon from Cincinnati is a patron, and I want to make my patrons happy because we're chasing you, not views. So we got Alicia Bumgarner. I believe she's 130-pound division as well on the show on Friday morning. Then in the evening, quick show at 7 o'clock will start, and then we'll have Robert Garcia, world-renowned trainer, at 7:30, and Abner Mars at 8 p.m. That's finishing out, Friday kind of strong. Going into Monday, looks like we already got Edgar Jasso, a.k.a. Estrellita, and we have someone else pending. We have a few pending for Monday, to be honest with you. Let me check here. Okay. Strength and conditioning coach Han D. Pending. He's the strength and conditioning coach to so many. Edgar Balanga, Daniel Jacobs, Dervianchenko, Luis Calazo. So many of the names in New York, the big time names. Also, Stainless, if you're listening, I posted it on our stories on Patreon right here, patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. If you have the app, you can see our stories similar to Instagram. And I sent an email to Charlie May, man. Let's see what happens. I actually asked him to allow us to interview him, and we'll start that way, right? But yeah, I was trying to get Mario's up because he's the real writer. But I was inspired. I just sent it, and I even sent them the links because I've interviewed him before. So I said to myself, let me try to refresh him, right? So I'm like, this is who I am. We met at Gleason's. Here's the interview that we did that day. Plus, I'm not only the guy that interviewed you, I'm the guy that also, like you, sparred Sean. I sent them that, and then I sent them information on the show. So let's hope that we get him. I also DM'd him and comment stalked them, so
Did
you
you
can
send
help.
him your Border Wars fight too?
No, because I'm not looking to get signed. But I comment stalked them, and I'm like, yo, champ, check your DMs, right? So you guys can help and comment stalk and be like, yo, Charlie May, check your DMs. Boxing Voice trying to interview you, and maybe we get it done. Together as a people, maybe we get it done. All right, so let me see who else we got. We got a new caller, right? But we're going to get to some of these patrons first real quick. We went to Israel and Oklahoma. Talk to me.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good show. Good interview, as always. I kind of hopped in late. This last showbox in, I think the 13th of March was a limited attendance, and I was worth a watch. It was like 30 people, I think they allowed in there. That was prior to the harsh restrictions. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was a good show. It was worth a watch. And anybody that wants to come on down here to Oklahoma, come on down. We seem like we're still living our life. Enrique seems like he's locked in a basement in a vault or something. So come on down, Enrique. You're more than welcome. We got plenty of space for you, dude. That's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, based off the video I've seen of Israel training, he's got a lot of open field. So. A lot of trees, a lot of fresh air, a lot of good, clean wind, circulation.
Shit goes south, Izzy. I'm going to the mountains up there.
Yeah, man. It must be. I wonder what those winters look like. Whoa. Not that I want them at all. Believe me, I'm not into cold winter nights or days at any time at all.
Bro, you live in New Jersey.
I've been trying to leave, dog. I blame my parents all the time. We're Caribbean. Why did you come here? But I think someone finally, all these years, I've always said that, and someone finally said, "Oh, they probably just knew people up here," and I'm like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's the connection that they had, when they came over. But they still should have just, like Cubans. Why Cubans are smart? They're like, man, 91 miles away, I'm going that way. You know what I mean? They go straight there. But all right, we going out to New Orleans.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
What's up, Ness? What's up, Mario, Regal?
Good morning.
Nah, man, good interview. I was in the bed listening to the show, so my girl was still laying down, and that was her first time not getting mad when I be on this show, because that doctor was talking, but because she was listening as well. But good interview. I'm still waiting to hear that Andre Berta interview, and ask him all them questions, see what's up with him and stuff. But that's all I got right now. I don't have nothing else to talk about.
All right, champ. Well, thanks for calling in. Just want to keep going down with the schedule. I kind of got stuck, right? We went Monday. We got Edgar Jasso, a.k.a. Estrellita. Estrellita is the trainer that was doing the pad work with Andy when Andy was preparing for the first Ruiz-Joshua fight, and he clipped him. Remember that video that went real viral? No one.
I remember that.
All right, perfect. So we got him scheduled.
Estrellita got a chin on him.
Yeah, he's still working with Manuel Robles, so we get to ask all those intimate questions and stuff like that. Then we got Black Magic Travell Maison. We had him scheduled once before and it didn't happen, but this time I got a good working number. We're good to go. And then we have up and coming, red hot. Everybody wants a piece of him. We're going to get that story for you. Is that amazing or what? Keyshawn Davis, the Olympian that was scheduled to take over 2020 Tokyo. And because of the COVID-19, the rumor is he's going pro. We're going to find out on the show. I got him scheduled Tuesday morning. He wants to smoke with everybody at 135. And it's just going to be, I hope he's a talker and a good one at that. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of business mind he has, what direction he's going with, what management. I know we had another Olympian that we were supposed to get. I think it was Troy Stonebone to help me. He knows exactly who I'm talking about. I got to reschedule him. He overslept because he was training in Colorado at the time. But we should be getting him as well. And he decided to go with James Prince. So it'll be interesting to see if Keyshawn has any influence because of one of the stable mates went to Prince. I don't know. Shakur's also with Prince. This younger generation, we could only see. But I got him scheduled for Tuesday. And I'm not completely done yet filling up the schedule, but that's, Tuesday morning. We got two guests, Travell Maison and Keyshawn Davis. And then I got for Wednesday completely free. Oh, actually, we got an evening show already scheduled for Wednesday. So, we'll be here evening time with the Haneys. We got Bill at 7:30. No, excuse me, Haney at 7:30 and Bill at 8. Lucky thing I got everything in a calendar now. I'm telling you, working for you, the Patreon, not the views. Now you see, I got everything.
I love it.
I just don't have anything for the morning, but I'm working on it. I got so many messages out just waiting for fighters to confirm, but
I was wondering if that Devin Haney was a mistake or not. So it is at night.
Yeah, no, they're Vegas, bro. They're Vegas, bro.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
I wish we was over there. We could just fucking, that's what we got to do. When we free, we got to go over there and have an interview with Bill over there. Get Enrique to shoot it, a sit down, bro, because he smokes. Oh, my God, it would be beautiful. They got dope cars. We could do something outside. Oh, man. But in the evening time on Thursday, the 2nd, I should be giving you dates, but this is Thursday this week coming up. So Thursday the 2nd, Right? Oh, yeah. So when I booked Bill and Devin, they like, damn, that's really April Fool's Day? I'm like, yo, you're right. But for me, every day is just work. So that's how I looked at it. I didn't even notice, until he texted me back like, bro, really April Fool's Day?
We don't know nothing about holidays.
I don't know nothing about a holiday, bro. I work on Super Bowls. I work on fucking Thanksgiving. Well, actually, I've been taking Thanksgiving off, but most of the holidays I work, bro. Like, I don't care. I'm about this boxing talk. But then we're going to get Terrell Gausha. We messed up the last time. He apologized. Not that he had to apologize for me to reschedule, but I did let him know, like, damn, bro, you left us flat last night. He's like, nah, I'm sorry. I have overslept, which is understandable, yo. Look, man, 9:30 for some people, especially when you rich, it's like, yo, get your ass out of here. If you ain't got no fight, what are you doing miles for, right? So Friday, we got nothing on the docket, but again, we're filling up the schedule, so that's what we have so far. Hope you guys have been enjoying how, I guess, consistent the interviews have been, and just the transition with the show, man. Let's go on out to CYP. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Hello, hookers and hoes and scoundrels. But listen, man, listen. I appreciate what y'all doing. Quick question, though. When are you supposed to have Wade on?
When are we supposed to have who?
Wade, Coach Wade.
Oh, Coach Wade, damn, you're right. You know about that. He's showing y'all. The thing with Coach Wade is he wanted an evening night, so I'm booked through evening. So Coach Wade is April. He's the Thursday. Let me see if he's on the 9th. Yep, Coach Wade is April 9th at 7:30, and we got Gabriel Rosado that day at 8 o'clock, and we got Brandon Lee at 8:30 that same day. So that Thursday is completely booked. Thank you for that, brother.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure I'm listening and shit. Secondly, I've been doing my investigations as I do. That's why I studied law when I was in college, but switched my degree. Anyway, the reason I do this is because I like to listen and learn, but keep the door open. And I keep my door open because I realize that a lot of people, most people are realizing that Tyson Fury most definitely said he was going to pay this dude. He knows the dude. Dude's on the documents. He asked dude to testify. Cut it.
Gonna miss CYP not being a triple rag, man. Let's see who's up.
Oh, at least
Sid in Orlando.
What up?
What's going on, brother? Good morning.
Shit, nothing much. Still out here working in Atlanta today. But yeah, man, I ain't really have much to say except just keep up the work, and I'm just here listening, getting through my work day like normal.
So where you work at that you allowed to work?
In Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta.
Yo, Enrique, you breaking up. Let me make a new call. Let me make a new call for him. He breaking.
Got it set up so ain't nobody around me, so I'm just making this free money, really.
Well, lucky you, and that's what's up, because it's hard out here for other people, man. So congrats on that. That is your time, Sid. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for choosing us to be in your ear while you work, brother. We really appreciate every single one of you. Doubling back the Trey and the Bay on the boomerang. I know you didn't get to go. You ready?
Yeah. This ain't a boomerang. This is my first call, ain't it?
No, I know. I'm just saying you are boomerang status.
Hey, I mean, I'm still working. I don't know what's up with them COVID-19 passes. Ain't nobody told me nothing about it, man. I just been out and about and doing my regular thing, man. I just been going to work, and I've been staying at home unless I need something from the grocery store and stuff like that. But I don't even know what those passes are. I don't even know if I get caught without one. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what California got going on. I try to watch the news, man, but it gets real repetitive. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it gets too repetitive, so I start tuning out, and I try to scroll through a couple of articles, man, and again, it's just people trying to make you scared, and so-and-so died, they forget to mention that a motherfucker had a heart problem or something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they'll say somebody died from the COVID-19, but forget to tell you that the motherfucker.
Cut it.
Yeah, I wanted to restart that call. Let me see if you guys are still. What's up? Talk to me.
Yeah, nah.
What up?
It's a little
Reek
clippy.
wanted to know what.
Yeah. What's up?
Yo, I think it's honestly, I think it might be the computer just not have enough processor and RAM anymore. It's 8 years old. This is like I told y'all a few shows ago. This was the inception of the boxing voice. But I'm gonna have to
original machine.
The original.
Yeah, you got the old school John.
But I listen. It's got like let me see. I just did a scan on it, and it had all right, but it is running slow. I can't deny that. I get the beach ball. I was talking to my Apple guy all morning, bro. I've been up since 3. That's why I overslept.
Is there a way to clean it out though?
Nah, there's nothing on this puppy. I don't do nothing. There's no. I got
So then the technology's too advanced.
Yeah. No, it's old. It's old. Like, look, I'm trying to give you the RAM that's allegedly available, but I get the beach ball. All right, so look, allegedly I got basically 12 gigabytes left in RAM, which should be enough, but I just think that it's old, bro. It's out of processing capabilities right now. But
it's time to retire.
I think Enrique said it best.
Yeah, it's 8 years. It's 8 years, man.
He passed his prime.
Yeah, I'll give it to my daughter. You know what I mean, and then we upgrade it. You know what I mean, so the show sounds better because I'm assuming that's what it is. That's the only thing I can think of it. But I don't even have browsers open on this one, trying to save resources. So it's interesting. But enough technology talk, right? Let's get out to this new caller. He came in, he dropped off, he's back. 513 Cincinnati. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, Ness? How you feeling?
How are you, brother? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, actually, I'm about to hit you with a flurry, so I hope you guys can catch all this. First of all, I'm not a new caller. This is Sony Woods. Last time I called the first time, I hit you guys with that idea for Friday sparring every Fridays.
Yes.
My next question is, I think I'm supposed to be a Patreon because I do the $15 a month.
Yes, I see you
my
on
question
Patreon.
Yes. So how can I become a boomerang, or am I a boomerang?
You gotta no, let me double check your I'm gonna have to double check. Let me get my other computer so I don't slow the recesses. Can I get back to you on that? But I could double check. But Boomerang, all you got to do is go to your pledge and upgrade. Boomerang, you'll see it if you're on a desktop or a smartphone. And there's only 13 spots, so I don't know if it's available. You got to check because usually they're limited spots available.
Oh, that's cool. But let me get this one question off about the doctor you had on earlier.
Sure.
He said the COVID-19. Me and my girlfriend just had this argument last night. Because we're in my house, and I'm like, yo, we should be practicing social distancing. Then that doctor said, even if you're in the house with your significant other or who else, you should practice social distancing within the house.
Did he say within the house? I mean,
I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, I think he said, because he's talking about dinner guests and all that.
You're going to have to press rewind. Luckily, you are a patron, so you'll be able to do that immediately. For those just listening on the line, they only get to listen live and don't get that. Do want to thank you for calling in, Sonny. He said Sony, but I did see your name. You have no avatar right now.
Sony Wood.
Yeah, Sony Wood. I seen his name on Patreon. I just got to double check your status. I'll let you know if you're a boomerang, and we'll put it in the books. But I'm not sure because I usually those stick out, obviously. What's up?
Imagine that social distancing within the house.
No, dude.
Hey, you don't want to talk to your lady for a quick second? Yo, social distance.
That's exactly what he said. Me and my lady was listening, so I think that's what it is. He want a little space. He like, yo, I'm trying to go down in the man cave. You stay upstairs. I can
see that though, honestly.
Depends. It depends if the
listen,
other person is interacting with
you still gotta sleep. You still gotta sleep.
Yeah.
So and listen, people sweat at night, bruh. So you passing that, man. Whatever she got, you got. Whatever you got, she got. And when it comes to the virus, so you might as well.
are one.
You might as well just rock out with it, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I guess if she's got it, I'll take it, and if I got it, I don't really want her to get it because then she can't help me. So You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
what's funny is how COVID-19 not only shut down boxing and everything, right? But it's become like the talk of every day that doesn't die. It's like the conversation that doesn't end. It doesn't get boring. We still somehow talk about this every day. But let's go out to Caesar in Las Vegas. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your question on Patreon, Caesar in Las Vegas. I know you're working with the background. Try to muffle some.
Yo, apologies for the background noise, man. Yo, it's just crazy, man. You really don't know what to believe anymore. You know, you see videos of people in the hospitals laying on the floor, coughing their ass off. And then you see videos about people downplaying it and saying, this shit ain't what it seems. So, at the end of the day, I don't know what to believe, but precautions have to be taken just in case. I mean, there's a whole thing going on right now at work. My foreman just basically quitting because he said, I don't want to bring this shit home to my kids. So he's basically just taking a layoff. And, you know, it just keeps on getting more serious. So, I mean, you got to treat this like a serious thing. What's up?
He's in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's spreading out to the U.S., man. It's not as bad as it is in other places as it is here. We're the epicenter, New York, New Jersey.
You know, I can understand that though. You don't want to bring it back to your children. You know what I'm saying? It's a judgment call, but I think that people should really get educated and stay away from the sensationalism in the media, so that you don't make decisions that later you might think they were wrong.
Do me though, but for real, look, the Instagram doctor is real. That Karen character is real.
Oh man, you
that
going
shit,
back to that?
No, that's a fact though. That shit is not made up by a stripper. That was a stripper educating you about it.
That's Cash Weezy doctor right there.
Cash Weezy. Cash Weezy got his MD on IG.
Yo, you know what's hard though? Do me what you said is that, like, okay, he said just now, like, oh, what do we pay attention to? And y'all asked the doctor, Caesar asked the doctor about the vaccine, or the vaccine that got you know what I'm saying, from 2013. And I read that, but I thought it was BS. And now he's here saying he doesn't know if it's BS. But then somebody was saying Thermoflu cures it all, and there was doctors coming out saying it. But then it turned out the doctor had stock in it. Like, it was crazy. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's even hard to just trust anybody right
If you
now.
guys want to have an untitled on the conspiracy behind this, I got a load
Yo,
of
I would love
got a load of information.
And there's
Yo,
a
we
doctor.
could talk aliens.
Batista did mention the nation's director of infectious disease and allergies and virus, which is Anthony Fauci, who is in all the briefings. And listen to him; he breaks it down. For him, there would be no social distancing.
He doesn't get into that BS though. Like, he's not talking about the stuff that we're seeing on the internet. Not really.
But he's talking about the combat of it.
Of course. No, I've seen every single press conference that's come out, and he's great. I hate the way that they're politicizing him, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's just the nation we live in.
All right. Well, let me
Andre
get to
Berto, where you at?
Stone Bone Boxing. Talk to me.
What up?
What's going on, brother?
What up? Yeah. Oh man, everything well.
Yo, what's Box Boy Troy's whole
just
name?
So y'all,
Box Boy Troy.
Troy.
Hold on, I got him.
Troy. Yeah, I can't. Troy. I'm sitting here smoking my damn self. I can't even think. Hey, we so everybody know all of the marijuana. We're essential. So we open. We stand flooded. Everybody getting free joints when you coming in. We are considered essential. So just like you can go to the grocery store, you can come buy your weed. And we also working on a COVID-19 strain. It's going to be headband and amnesia haze. You know, headband is the one when you hit it, it feels like you got a headband on your head. And amnesia is the one that kind of sucks you. You know what I mean? One of those high coughers. So you're about to have one of those that when you hit it, you're going to cough hard, and it's going to make your head sweat like you got a headband on. So COVID-19 is on the way. DJ Shorter have it out in.
Yo, he sound like Cat Williams right now. Remember that Cat Williams?
Yo, my head starts sweating when it's too good.
Yo, remember Cat Williams stand up when he was like, this shit called death. I'm like, death?
Yo, the only thing that does that to me is edibles. I don't get like that with any other flower.
Yeah, I don't
This
get
shit
like
like death. I can't. Nah, I can't hear shit. What'd he say? I forgot, but I remember that shit.
that. Look it up,
That was
though.
a good-
It's,
yeah.
I'm telling you, that's infamous. J Mac, Boomerang. J Mac.
Yo.
Boomerang. Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
don't start. What you said something about you gonna start not doing the intros? Like what you said earlier?
Yeah, I was saying because I play the intro and then y'all don't come on. You know what I mean? Like y'all busy or y'all can't talk, so then it's just like a waste of the intro.
Not really. I mean, it just people. They get the intro played. I think that's a part of the Patreon. And if it just missed, they miss. I mean, we still at the mercy of people. Still on Skype, you get calls. You got stuff that happens. Some people at work, so they can't pick up their phone. Stuff like that. You just gotta practice a little more leniency and patience, brother.
You right, champ. But remember, Boomerang cuts the line, so like you guys get first access. What we could do is go backwards because you get 2 calls. Don't go to you first. Go to the people that aren't Boomerangs because it's normally the Boomerangs. You, Trey, and Atlanta, Intrigue, y'all usually like just listen and come back to me. But that's understandable. But for audio purposes, maybe we should go backwards when it comes to that.
That's not true. The only time I'm not on that if I got a call, I got bad service. Them 2 people you just spoke on work in the morning, and their job a little different from mine, so I'm not in the same situation. So, of course, I'm not gonna agree with you saying, but I mean, I ain't got much on this topic. Just sharing my 2 cents.
All right. JD Boomerang.
Yo, to go off what J Mac just said, yo, listen, whenever you gotta step away, just hit 1, and then when you come back, hit 1 again when you
Well,
ready.
they on Skype.
But anyway,
they on Skype, so it's different. That's why I'm trying
okay,
to
I
tell
got
them
you, I
it's
got you.
totally different from over here. I gotta guess
okay.
with them. That's what he don't get. I gotta guess who's ready, who's not over here, unless they put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Nah, but to add to that list of the people that's not working, man, look at retail right now. Like clothing stores, all these people, you know what I'm saying? You can't go buy a car right now. Ain't nobody buying vehicles. All those people, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to add to that list. While you were talking about strippers and shit, nobody give a fuck. They some hustlers. They gonna find a way to get it. Instagram, all type of shit. They some hustlers. But that's pretty much all I had, man. This shit is a disaster. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about that note, man. Check in your city. You're gonna have to have a note to move around. That's all I got.
Yeah,
All
over
right.
here they're saying that they'll give you a $800 fine if they catch you out without essential or like for non-essential purposes. But I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear about fines yet out here, but I'm trying to be in the house before 8, 9, man, because I ain't trying to get hit with none of that shit.
Same. And around here, everything closes, man. At 8, should have shut down.
That's
grocery
it.
stores.
They close parks too.
Parks are open, but
they started closing some of them.
Okay.
I go for jogs.
And they actually started closing also, like in Patterson. The thing is, guys, that certain areas are in a different time, or like it's not okay. It's not like we're flattening out the curve all across America and everybody's on the same page. Different states are practicing differently. Some are more compliant than others. Some cases, like here in Jersey, and I mean, Trump just declared the state of disaster for New York,
a couple days
New Jersey, and all that stuff. So some states are doing better than others, and I guess the leniency, gets put out there because of what's going on in your state individually.
Yeah, but the whole New Jersey is on an 8 o'clock curfew, according to the Governor Murphy. And that's just saying that people are lining up to get a cheeseburger or more. You know, maybe they came out of work from the hospital. Maybe
Bruh,
those
it was 10 o'clock, bruh.
essentials.
It was 10 o'clock. I'm telling you, White Castle line was bananas. And so was Sonic. Like, bruh, they system went down, and, you know, the amount of Uber drivers that I seen was ridiculous. Like, me and my girl waiting on this fake 15 minutes for the system to go back up, which really was like 30 to 45, but I really wanted this Snickers Blizzard, you know what I'm saying? Or is it called a Sonic Blast? So, but I promise you, I seen so many delivery Uber dudes that I decided right there I'm not doing the delivery. Dudes
Why?
with Cause
Oh,
dudes
I
got
get you. I
they
feel
got
you.
the latex, but they texting on their phone with the gloves still on. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes got the mask, but it ain't on their faces, on their hair, like it's a baseball cap. I'm like, bruh.
And
Man,
apparently
listen,
COVID could
one
go
dude,
in your hair.
one dude had the motherfucking glove on the right hand and not on the left hand. I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, yo, they just doing it for the look. And shit.
Yo, they doing it for the gram, man. I'm just like, yo, what's going on out here, bro? I'm telling you. Listen, the thing is, it gets boring. I understand it gets boring eating at home every freaking day. But listen, man, it's safer, I think, bro, because you got to be mindful. It's like when I was a truck driver, man. When I went to school for trucking, they told me you got to drive for you and them, because cars don't respect truck drivers. You know what I mean? They think that we could stop at the drop of a dime. So you had to, and it's the same thing now. You got to think for you and them. You don't know what Enrique's doing, just like Enrique don't know what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with.
Exactly. And that's why I was like, nah, I ain't gonna go to Ness house.
Yeah, I remember you said that yesterday.
He might be Karen out here.
Yeah.
Yo, this is the
you're
time.
right. I mean, you know, and he's right. You got it. That's how you got to think.
Karen, you know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah.
This is the time to start practicing good training methods with your dog, all right? They can't catch it.
So
Go
you
get
see
this.
So I saw a fox out on my front lawn rolling over. Like, yeah, ain't nobody out here.
What, for real?
Fuck.
Yo, the deer gonna come out. I swear,
That's serious.
deers are
Wow.
gonna come out bare.
So I heard that what's that river y'all got that's like super polluted?
Passaic River, Hudson River.
Hudson, yeah. I heard that that for the first time in like 3 decades they've seen wildlife out there.
Yeah, no, they seen and that's because of global warming. They
not
seen
wildlife, sea life, I guess.
they seen them hump
the humpback whales. That's what it was.
humpback whales by the Verrazano Bridge, bro.
That's crazy.
They
bro.
came in to
That's
pull
awesome.
the complaint.
So
Y'all fucking
you know they jet ski around there, right? Doomy. So if you want to jet ski and great whites, actually. So
Like, y'all stupid. Y'all
Let me
dumb.
get to a caller real quick. We got King Born in Oregon. What's up?
Guys, good morning, everybody.
Morning,
you know,
morning.
this COVID thing is crazy. I'm in New York and everything. It's real scary. But let's try to share let's give somebody food for thought right here, right? Let's do the knowledge. Let's get the knowledge going on. I got a question for everybody on here, right? Do you think that a prime Mike Tyson would have destroyed Anthony Joshua or one of the Klitschko brothers? Do you think that a prime Mike Tyson? All right, but I need the listeners to call in and give them their views. Even people from the UK. You know, we got to stir it up a little bit. You know, let's do it. Thank you, guys.
Joshua, listen. Joshua was a better skill, absolutely, but the size would be the word. I still type.
Oh man, that shit.
Talking Vladimir.
I'm gonna try and restart that, but in the meantime, let me go out to my gym bed. Talk to me.
Much to say about this topic, but I am starting to be as interested in the Dylan White Andy Ruiz fight as I am for the Joshua Wilder fight. I think they're doing a good job of promoting it online, especially on IG. They're going back and forth, so I'm looking forward to it. You know, but that's about it, man. Everybody like, support. Definitely reach out to Doc that was on earlier today and just let him know thanks for being on the show. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate that, man. I figured we needed awareness, especially amongst our boxing community, and little just refreshing, I think, right? Like something different, something new, something we haven't done, unexpected, and now we have at least that connection to bring a doctor on when we need him for certain discussions, like the Earl Spence discussion. He would have been great to talk to when Timothy Bradley fought Ruslan Pavatnikov. You know what I mean? And he had the concussion. So that would have been a great guess at that time as well. I'm going to connect with the guys.
While he was with Customado, hell yeah. He was the man, bro.
He was the man.
Once Customado was out of his life, bro, all the fucking vultures landed on him.
Hell yeah.
Well, it doesn't.
He was a young fighter.
You guys started off sounding good, but it doesn't sound any better. But let me get, I guess, to I guess it's just I went to J-Mac. Trey, I guess. Trey. Boomerang.
Yeah. I don't know about homeboy that just called in his question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it.
I hear you.
Oh, okay.
And that horn.
I don't know, Mike. All right, man. Listen, I'm at work. I can't do nothing about them horns. Mike Tyson. He might be too little for them dudes, man. What y'all think?
Yeah.
I think he definitely would have beat the Klitschko because Samuel Peters knocked him down and Corey Sanders beat him. So definitely prime Mike Tyson, in my opinion, would have done it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm talking Mike before jail, man. He ain't know how to lose, man.
Mike Tyson always said himself he used his height as an advantage.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah,
listen,
nobody
that
got
style.
lower than Mike. Yo, nobody got lower than Mike. Nobody.
Uh,
And that was what was so impressive about him. He generated so much power like that.
Let me go to Intrigue Boomerang.
What's good, man? I ain't got really nothing to add, man. Good show. The doctor was very informative. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. I'm in a meeting.
All right, well, Atlanta, stand up. Thank you again, as always. My Jinbe Boomerang.
Nothing to add here, guys. Just want to say keep up the great work. I think definitely with the Untitled show and having the doc on, I think you guys could definitely expand to something other than just the boxing voice. Food for thought. Love the show. Keep doing what you guys doing.
All right. Well, thank you. I mean, listen, that is the goal with Untitled, a weekly everything show that is going to have the consistency it's never had because we were chasing views instead of you. And now that's working the opposite way. Obviously, want to thank everyone that tuned in, and we'll be back, obviously, at 7 p.m. I don't know. I think this is really getting worse and worse. A guy like Steve, you might be able to see. I don't know if this show is even going to record. I'm hoping that it does, but I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. So, but I have already contacted, like I said, I was on all morning with my guy in Apple, so we will do the diagnostic and find out what's the issue. But, yeah, man, 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter.
At Mario Mookie on Twitter, at Mario Mookie on Instagram. Yo, I miss when we used to play that outro music, so maybe we can do that.
I got it here too, but I gotta find it.
We'll
Where
do
is
it. We'll do it for tonight.
Yeah, we can bring that
down.
back.
It might slow down. Though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I'm already working on it. It should be 48 hours, the longest.
Reek, I'm gonna try to do the Hot Wheels guy like they just both did. Alex Doomsday Linus at Instagram. Alex.
But why are you doing with the pause though?
I can't do it like y'all was fast as a motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
Yo, catch me on Twitter.
I'll be studying my Spanish on Duolingo.
Yo, get ready. TBV en español is coming.
Yo, you've been saying that. He been saying that for how many years? He's been saying that.
I'm doing that since 2014.
No, that's why I'm doing it.
That's got the
So we
schedule
can do
real
Spanish.
full.
Yo,
Do Spanish.
yo, Mario.
you
So
say
you
that
saying
word
Mario?
all
You saying you
season.
got the Spanish skills?
Yeah, you've heard me interview. I mean, y'all have made fun of me because I'm not very,
Let me
my
see.
Spanish
Let
isn't
me see.
great, but
Let
I've
me
been
see.
doing Duolingo.
We get better as we go.
Let me see let me see y'all do a teaser right here. This is an outro teaser. What's it gonna be like?
Bueno, estamos aquí con Mario Munguia, Enrique.
Actually,
Iglesias.
Gilberto, remember Gilberto Ramirez. I don't know when we got Ramirez scheduled, but he's on it. He's Spanish only.
Yo,
And I also scheduled or scheduling Lenny Castillo, who fought Dimitri Bivol. He's Spanish only.
Ramirez is not Spanish only.
Gilberto?
Oh, Gilberto. I'm sorry. I thought you said Jose. You said Jose, actually.
No. Oh, I meant to say
Jose.
Gilberto.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We have Gilberto next week, right?
Should be.
I'll do the translations.
Oh.
If I mess it up,
Doomy usually translates. But that's what's up. Ooh, the challenge. Challenge accepted.
I need that practice, man.
Yo, Boxing Fan Apparel, boxingfanapparel.com, TBV_casual fan is my Twitter, as well as my YouTube channel. Check out my videos, boxingfanapparel.com. Check out my boutique.
Peace.
Bueno, mi gente, cerramos aquí con el voz del boxeo.
La voz,
Yo, you
la
sounded-
voz,
you sounded
la
like
voz
Elvis
de
Crespo
boxeo.
for 2
You gotta say la voz del boxeo.
La voz de boxeo. Bienvenido, mi gente.
La voz de boxeo.
La voz del boxeo.
Yeah,
aquí
the
con
voice-
este que es Mario Munguia.
There you go.
Y Enrique.
Yo, honestly,
Iglesias.
Doomy does have that Mexican sounding,
He does.
like
I
that
was about to
that
say
that
that.
Telemundo commentator. Like, he's about
No,
to start?
Doomy does.
Yo,
He
like
does,
he's about to
for
start
real. That's what I
commentating
picked up
soccer
on
right
right
now
away.
and shit. It sounds like
Yeah.
soccer, but it also sounds like it could be boxing too, like the Telemundo coverage, man. The Azteca, the Azteca TV.
When he talks like that, I can understand the Spanish better. But sometimes I'm not gonna lie, when y'all go off the way y'all do with the
With the
Dominican
urban-
dialect, Puerto Rican,
urban Spanish.
it's too fast for me, for my ear. It's too fast. So
Damn,
that's the only thing that messes me up.
yo,
on the
Steve,
show.
I'm pretty sure this ain't gonna record, Steve. I can see the it's just not doing it. This is so sad right now, bro. But anyway, yo, at least you live guys had gold, man. This is what happens. You know what I mean? But like I said, 48 hours, man. We should have. And I'm assuming that's the issue. Hopefully, it is that. You know, because like I said, I send the logs to the. Anyway. Untitled. Peace.
Adios, mi gente.
Why you sound like Dora the Explorer's brother Diego?
Mi gente, ustedes.
Yo, I'm gonna end the Skype in hopes that force quit will save the resources and this shit comes back to get a good stop,
Okay.
but it's not responding. So peace.
All right, peace.